me? Here's a 50-yard penalty for an unnecessary ref slaughter. Your move, wieners.
Jumps off sides to kill him.
Well, we'll take a 50. Yeah. This sucks. Sack. Boom, you just became the regional. We're actually going to be playing. The plan is in December to play Mutant Football League 2, which is supposed to be coming out on Steam.
And it's 1st and 10. Offense says it's time to put the ref out of his misery.
So.
And it's 1st and 10. It's a jailbreak, and the defense jumps offside to kill the ref. Oh, crowd's loving it.
Tricky Dicky, I do not fear death. I guess we're taking a field goal out of this. Ed Hockaloogie, you can kill almost anybody on my watch, or my front lawn for that matter. But you can't kill refs, especially not. So let him go. I bribed the refs. This should work.
The 10. Touchdown. And he rumbles that one into the end zone. If you get one more
bingo.
Penalty, you get one more for free. You'll also probably
That's why you're smart. So we ended up with the same as 3 other teams. And how did we get the tiebreaker? I'm assuming it's just because we're cute. But everybody seems fumble.
See that counted, partner. Yeah, now the ground crew's gonna come out and pick him up. Him dying really kills the momentum. There should be a
So I have 2 more guys injured. Really? Well, at least the running back's dead now. You know what? I think it's time we use a dirty play ourselves.
Oh man, what a throw! And Sonic Blend. Oh, and he breaks free and has nothing but open field in front
That
of him.
should have been a touchdown. Damn it.
What are you throwing at him? Hey! Oh man,
Ah, damn
that's
it.
For his day. Cover your eyes, kids. Ah, damn it.
Fumble!
See that counted, partner.
Fumble!
See that counted, partner. Yeah, now the ground crew's gonna come out and pick him up. Him dying really kills the momentum. There should be a
So I have 2 more guys injured. Really? Well, at least the running back's dead now. You know what? I think it's time we use a dirty play ourselves.
Oh man, what a throw! And Sonic Blend. Oh, and he breaks free and has nothing but open field in front
That
of him.
should have been a touchdown. Damn it.
What are you throwing at him? Hey! Oh man,
Ah, damn
that's
it.
For his day. Cover your eyes, kids. Ah, damn it! I know I should have bet on the
I thought I could get it, but obviously. Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight. It is
Super
kick!
Let go! Let go!
Third!
Let go!
Super kick party! Yeah, pay the money for that. Yes! This life is going great! Let's go!
She's healthy.
Let's go!
Is she healthy?
Yeah!
Apparently she's back.
Hey, yo, and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday night edition of the AEW Sidecast. Always a pleasure to have you here, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on Twitch. We are going to have a lot of fun today, as I'm just trying to figure out how far behind we are between the streams here. It's going to be an interesting Saturday, because I find it rather funny with the title of the... I tried to be clever with the title of the stream here over on the Twitch side. Hey, Zodiac. I'm a micker, I'm a miker, I'm an asshole, I'm all these things. So don't worry about it. It's all good. But, yeah, we're going to get sudden death before we're going to get blood and guts. If you think about that, don't think about it too hard. Don't think about it too hard. We got Roddy Strong taking on John Moxley for the advantage in the men's War Games match. And then we got Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue in match 2 with the heel side up 1-0. And then if it goes to 3, it's going to be Harley Cameron versus Tekla later on in the evening. So you can almost see where things are playing out here. I would almost find it funny if Roddy won by countout over Moxley to get the advantage. And Moxley still doesn't have a win since Full Gear. But how y'all doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. Today's the day after our first snowstorm of the year here in Edmonton. So we are, like today we're at around 30, well right now we're at 33 degrees. Yeah, Mox don't need a win. Yeah, I know. I agree. I feel that it makes sense that the faces get one lead and the heels get the other in the women's side. So have a day off Tuesday. So do we. Well, except for suckers like me that work on salary. Ugh. Yeah, it's a national holiday up here in Canada as well, Zodiac. I believe you guys have Veterans Day on Tuesday. We have Remembrance Day on Tuesday. So similar holidays, just different terminologies for them. So I think Roddy's team needs to win, switch it up, and give the faces even. Yeah, that's what I think it's going to be. Like we've always talked about the Death Riders always getting the advantage. But now there's a possibility we go the other way. You call Veterans Day, Remembrance Day is much better. Absolutely. And the thing is, for us, it's for those that aren't familiar, and forgive me for giving the history lesson here. The tradition here in Canada is across the country at 11:11. Yeah, honestly, my poppy broke off on my way home from work, and I wasn't stopping in to grab another one, so I'll try and have one on here for stream tomorrow night. So, and just to make up for it, I'll wear an extra one on Wednesday. So, for those that don't remember, for those that are wondering, at 11:11 in the morning, we hold a moment of silence across Canada in remembrance of all those that fell during the World Wars and basically all our veterans. And for people that don't know, the 11th month of the 11th day is D-Day for us. That was basically the time that the war was won. If you can ever say that war is really won. So, sorry, I'm always of the fact that there are no real winners in war. They're just survivors. It's in honor of the armistice. Yeah. Of World War One. I'm glad you know our history better than mine. No, and I say that with all seriousness because I thought it was World War II for some reason. Yeah, the armistice of World War One. That makes sense. I'm going to defer to the guy that actually served, to which I truly do thank you for all your service. Whether it's in your military service or whether it's actually serving up a plate of pin-off in my GM online. Who do I think John Cena should face? I've already heard it's Gunther, so whatever. I don't worry about it a whole lot. I haven't even seen the bracket yet. I don't even know who's in it. But appreciate having you here, Tenorf. I'll be honest, I haven't watched the Tree of Versailles. Was signed on the 11th day, 11th hour, 11th month. That makes sense. Could you imagine if Sky Blue wins and they just, we're not going to give you this match because we just don't feel like it. Oh, Wednesday's going to be a blast, folks. We are going to have blood. We're going to have guts. I really want, the one thing that's going to intrigue me, just so they can say fuck Jeremy into a credible depression to create proto Nick Fuentes. The one thing I'd like to know, one thing about tonight, or one thing about Wednesday, sorry. How are they going to differentiate the two matches? What do you think's going to happen? What do you think they're going to do to actually separate the women's from the men's? There is a possibility that the women's might get more violent. Fletcher and Ace Austin, that'll be a fun match. Oh, and the leftovers get FTR. And I say leftovers very facetiously. Yes, more violence, yes. Well, I just think the women are here to make a point. That's why I think we're going to get... That's why I think the women's match is going to be a hell of a lot more violent than the men's one. I see Dax is out there trying to make friends and influence people. Really giving Ace Austin his rep. Hey, you know what? He deserves it. Like, you've seen his work in Japan. You've seen his work in TNA. It was a big loss. Women are way more violent than men's usually. Yeah, well, here's the thing. They never had a women's War Games match before. So what's the best way to make a statement in that? Make the men's match seem tame. Because I do feel that the women are probably going to be the first match of the card. Instead of the... I would honestly main event them for the amount of stuff I expect out of this match. But they're probably going to put the women on first. But AEW is famous. Like, back when they had Rampage still, the New Year's Rampage hardcore matches that they had, like the last match going out of the year for AEW was always one of the most bloodiest, violent, and disgusting matches that you would see all year. Swerve and Hangman obviously taken to a different side here. I love that jacket. A little bit of white. I really do hope that Colton gets better soon. Not that I don't like this tag team of Juice and Austin, but I would like to see Colton back and just see what they can do. And the fact I'd really like to step up the trios game a little bit more. But yeah, there's a lot. Juice and Austin aren't really a tag. Well, it's sort of like, it's like the Don Callis family. The only difference is, you know, when it's the Don Callis family, you can send out combination 237, and then you can also send out combination 135 and have completely different teams. You can figure out what 135 and 237 are. And I'm assuming that's because like with how many people they have. But I think some of the biggest news that we got over the wire right now came out of New Japan this early morning. If you guys haven't heard the news, Tanahashi has decided that his final opponent in wrestling will be the one and only Okada. It's a shame the four of them are almost never healthy at once, considering their intros are absolutely like the effect they have in the. Well, Zodiac, I appreciate the fact that you're not on Shitter a whole lot. Because if you were on Shitter, you know exactly what everybody wanted. Or the internet wanted. Now Shinsuke Nakamura. They wanted that to be the final match. And And from all sources, it honestly never really came into their minds about that being the choice. And Okada is absolutely the right choice because, well, Okada's gone, and he does not usually want to take part in the Forbidden Door just because. No, well, the thing is, they want Nakamura there because I believe this is the 14th match between the two of them or something to that effect. And once again, it just simply goes under the category of absence makes the heart grow fonder, for one. And number two, most of the people that are crying for Nakamura versus Tanahashi are the new fans that New Japan has gotten since its inception with AEW, aka the North American fan. And I honestly will give AEW full credit for that insurgence, because, well, even talking about a lot of the WWE wrestlers that got to work in Japan before, I don't think a lot of people got that exposure from there. So, hey, PJC, things are looking good tonight. Right now we got FTR versus the Bang Bang Gang. We're going to get Kyle Fletcher versus Ace Austin for the TNT title. We're getting John Moxley and Roderick Strong in the decided game against for advantage in Blood and Guts next week. Then we got match 2 of the women's side with Jamie Hayter taking on Sky Blue. If Jamie wins, then we get Harley Cameron versus Tekla in a game 3. Got TJ in action, getting ready for their tag team tournament match against Bane and Shafir. Now here's a question for you, Chad. And I know a lot of you have this idea, and since we're talking about tag teams here, by the way, actually no, I'll come back to that one. I'll come back to the women's tag tournament later. We'll talk about a little bit more with TJ out there. For the men here, with FTR, what are the odds that FTR takes the titles off Brodito at the pay-per-view? I think there's a very high possibility here. I think it might actually have something to do a little bit more with the fact the Bucks might need something to save it. Think it could happen to Nerf? Yeah. About 70%. I like the percentages. We don't go with odds here because there's no gambling, just we're innocent. No gambling here. There's enough drama with gambling these days. But no, I think it honestly depends if the Bucks want to work Brodito one-on-one. If the Bucks want to work Brodito one-on-one, I think you leave the titles on Brodito. But there is a possibility they could be setting up essentially the opposite of what they had last time. With heel FTR versus face Bucks. Hey, Nats. Thanks for popping in over on the YouTube side here. How you doing? Oh, before I forget, quick programming note. Nats, you just reminded me here. Thanks to your logo. Quick programming note. NFL Street 2 is going to be postponed till next week. This week is the last week that MLB The Show is putting up free packs as part of their drops program. So we're gonna run a little bit of MLB tomorrow night. So if you're interested, stop by, say hello, and if you play the game, you'll be able to get some free packs for yourself. just by watching and enjoying the game. So, do you think AEW would be around if WC? It's such a hard question to ask. Like, Dustin might be 2 years away. A year, 2 years. He realistically could be a year away, at least. He literally had both knees replaced. My prediction, if you put a gun to my head and say I have to pick when does Rhodes come back? I say the Casino Gauntlet at All In next year in Wembley. That'll be the end of August. That gives him a good. Since the surgery, it gives him 11 months. So, if he heals well, that very well could be it. In terms of the WCW never collapse, honestly, Tenor, I could go a million different ways on that. Because you also got to remember, like, WCW collapsed 25 years ago now. Like, when was it? Oh, sorry, 24 years ago, because it's 2025 this year. We could have had a million different things show up. With SmackDown ticket sales, maybe asking when another Rhodes comes back. I will give you that. Yeah, I know that. With all due respect, and I think people forget about this a lot. Oh my God, that hurt. Austin literally landed right on the square of his back on the corner of the apron there. Damn. That sucked. A quarter century since WCW and ECW died. Yeah. Like, a lot of people forget that. It's that long. Like, there's a million things that could have happened. And remember one thing, Tenor, for it's the only reason why the only thing that could tell me that I'd be confident that there would be another wrestling promotion, whether it be WCW or something else like an AEW. Tony Khan was in the crowd of those ECW shows. Tony Khan had the wrestling bug before they shut down. Always get frustrated when people say, oh, WCW collapsed. You mean Nitro? No, the brand folded. And WCW was JCP before, which I get. But the actual formation of WCW as an entity was actually in 1992. When they decided to get rid of their formal thing together with the NWA. Like, they were still having the NWA title around for the first little bit until they decided they didn't want it anymore and made their own title. And that ended up being a whole Ric Flair title disappear situation. But that's a history lesson for... I'll never forget when they had to use a WWF tag team title blurred out as the World Heavyweight Championship for AEW. Or for WCW, I mean. It was hilarious. I think if WCW didn't die, a more likely scenario would be something like TK buying, investing in WCW instead of creating his own. Very well. That's absolutely a great idea. And that's why I say there will always be a competitor, whether it be a WCW, whether it be an AEW. For all we know, Tony Khan could have bought the NWA. Because you also got to remember, if WCW doesn't fold, we probably don't get TNA. Because literally Jerry Jarrett wanted a replacement for the fact that he couldn't send his son anywhere. Yeah, absolutely be no TNA. Like, one thing about promoters, they don't like to spend money when they don't have to. And if WCW is around, all those wrestlers are going to be over there. Like, if you look at it, like the last year of WCW, they had AJ Styles in there. They had Christopher Daniels in there, which we should call the higher power Christopher Daniels. If you guys don't know, Christopher Daniels was originally slated to be that higher power part of the Undertaker storyline with Austin way back in '97. Then it was supposed to end up being Jake Roberts. Then it turned into Vince McMahon, which just started our whole line of...
What the hell was that?
Yeah, well, yeah, PJC, very smart. Like, if you don't know PJC here, PJC plays games. He's I guess I'm confident in saying former independent wrestler here in the Edmonton area. When it comes to wrestling, nobody's ever really retired, but at the same time. Speaking of the NWA, that title was also originally Global for huge. That's a name that just sends me shivers. That fluorescent green ring with the fluorescent green title. Dax pulling the tights and still only getting a 2. You're done? Okay, fair enough. I miss Stampede Wrestling being from Calgary. So, Tenorf, have you heard of Dungeon Wrestling at all? Have you heard of the promotion Dungeon Wrestling? Okay, so yeah. That's run by Brett's son, right? So, and essentially most of the wrestlers that came from Stampede went to the PWA here in Edmonton and Calgary, and then most of those have now transferred over to Love Pro Wrestling here in Edmonton. It's a little... The scene's a little interesting here in Edmonton, to say the least now. But for the better or for worse, there's 2 different ways to put it, so... Oh, God. Stoke went to go pick on some fans in the crowd, and they end up being Bandito and Oh, Stoke. Stoke just got 2 kicks. Stoke just got 2 kicks. Wow. FTR gets the win, even though they should have been the Bang Bang Gang should have been disqualified. Shivers, I didn't bring up Goldberg. Yeah. Brett's bitter about Goldberg. There's a difference between being bitter and just, on our end, being bitter and just dealing with somebody who thinks he's bigger than he is. I think that's the best way to put it. My mom only watches AEW to see Daddy's ass. Well, that is a big win for the Bang Bang Gang. Like, if you want to set up like a future tag team title run, there is a possibility here. Or not even a tag team title run, tag team title match. Because that definitely could end up being a collision match if they end up getting... if FTR ends up winning the titles, you could see the Bang Bang Gang being the one of the first for a title shot. And NWF, the one thing that worries me right now, and I wonder, Billy Gunn hasn't been seen on TV since his DLC launched in WWE 2K25. I love this. Okay, Okada. You can tell this promo's pre. Oh, that's after Dynamite. That's right. Folks, here's another seed to plant. Brotokada? But what Protoshita? Okada's planting seeds. He's planting a whole lot of seeds. And I love it. I love every second of it. I love it. So as I got the DraftKings ad up, I just want to give a quick shout out here to fellow player, absolutely great gentleman and auspicious person. If you guys get a chance to go check out my ex there, my ex account, Mike the Ref, I did not know you were here. You son of a. Say his name and he appears. I believe in McG. I hope everybody clapped at that. I missed it. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate you. Balls. I just reposted a couple pictures. McG actually picked up the DCKO crossover comics featuring the AEW stars, and they look clean. They look great. Like, I'm seeing good artwork lately, and that is definitely great artwork. I'm waiting for, there's this weird thing I need. So hopefully next week before the pay-per-view, I can get a chance to pick them up. That sub will help as well, so thank you. I appreciate you. But yeah, 44 months, McG. I know I flew right over it real quick, but seriously, thank you. I appreciate you. And I promise you, one of these days, I'm actually going to get that resub alert changed to, 2 people that are actually in AEW at this point. Well, yes, we know the whole story. There might be one that still is, but let's face it, neither one were around. But yeah, this is a big win for the Bang Bang Gang tonight. Like I said, setting up a future title match if FTR could beat Brodito. But yeah, once again, this should have been a DQ, but the referee just didn't feel like it. It wasn't Jon Moxley being hit, so nobody said nothing. So, I am so excited for next week, and I want to see what DC's got planned for this. What I'd like to see, and it's just me, and forgive me, if they could have done the graphics, sort of set up like a cartoon and then faded into the real person kind of thing, that would have been absolutely clean. Clean's the way the kids say it these days, right? I'm an old man. I'm just trying to get hip with the hip to be square kind of thing here tonight. But I really am looking forward to the pay-per-view, but it almost feels like, in a way, you almost feel guilty about being ready for the pay-per-view because you got Blood and Guts on Wednesday. And you don't want to... You sort of don't want to look forward to the future without looking at the present. Okay, this is a hell of an outfit for Fletcher. All right, chat, give me a rank. Give me a rank, 1 to 10. 10 being the best, 1 being absolutely dog crap. What do you think of the outfit on Fletcher here? Five, 6. I give it an 8. The only reason I won't go higher is because it's pink and purple, not pink and pink. Or maybe that's just the light. Have I watched Japanese death matches? No. Tenorf, I'll give you a little. And I don't blame anybody. Like, one thing you got to learn around here, I don't judge people for enjoying certain types of matches because everybody likes a different kind of match, right? Like, some people like technical wrestling, some people like high flying, some people like death matches. Myself personally, I've never been a fan of a death match without an actual reason for a death match, for lack of a better term. Like, if you're going to give me a cage match, give me a reason for it. The amount of BS that I hated, give the outfit choice an 8. All right, it looks like Ace is going to come out by himself, which makes sense. Because the other team just got themselves worn out here. But yeah, folks, I know that Ace's only had a few Ace's gear gets a 4. Okay, I get Ace's gear gets, well, the time all you're doing is wearing your own shirt, the most you can get is a 5. So I will give you that. It's the Tommy Dreamer rule. Because Tommy Dreamer, all he ever came out in was the t-shirt of the whether it be the promotion or the pay-per-view that he was on. So it's sort of a Tommy Dreamer baseline test here. But yeah, sorry, quickly going back to it. The DCKO comics that McG picked up, go over to my X, and I do have it reposted. Big thanks to McG for showing it off, as well as showing me what the rough cost is. So, but yeah, just you know Ace isn't winning this, but at the same time, you know Fletcher's gonna want to put a show on for him here. Because while Austin has had a couple matches, like, this is the first real profile match. That's for the flying bag. The Heyman cover is $7. Hey, that's fine. But yeah, I haven't talked to our local comic shops yet. Got a feeling that'll be a next weekend kind of thing, trying to set that up for me here. There's a chance to get some super rare covers in the blind bag, though. Okay, fair enough. Could you imagine? But yeah, just getting fascinated by, like, the movement of Austin. He's just so technically gifted. So 1 in 25, 1 in 100. Okay. I'm gonna have to give it. Mike Books challenge. Mark Davis never gets. Oh. I'm going to be honest with you, Zodiac, and I like that. I like that idea. I still think Fletcher goes out on his own. I just don't think it's as quick. That's actually a really good idea. You got me perplexed there for a second. For those that are not long-term viewers here, just to catch you up to speed what Zodiac's talking about, I guess it's a year ago now, I had set up a points group goal of the referee books challenge. And yeah, you guys crushed the goal. I still have yet to deliver, and I still have never forgotten it. I originally wanted to set it up as a 3-way challenge, and whoever had the best booking, I donate some money to charity. But one thing I'm learning from collaboration is once in a while it's, what's the term we use quite often? Herding cattle? No, not herding cattle, herding cats. That's more appropriate. Because if something doesn't go away, sometimes people scratch a little too much. My God, Fletcher. Full Nelson sit out Bubba bomb that, Bubba could never do. Oh, if you guys didn't hear, Devon Dudley just decided to rip on AEW this week in our weekly Find Somebody That Wants to Rip on AEW because they're working for WWE card. Devon talked about how unprofessional it was meeting Tony Khan on numerous times and insisting that he wanted Devon to still wrestle. I don't believe it. It very well could be true, but when it comes to anybody working with WWE, I got to throw over those 16 pinches of salt dealing with anybody that talks about any other team. Oh, I know I was going to mention, speaking of cards coming out, if you haven't heard, like speaking of comics coming out, comics cards are all in the same general collecting area. Major League Wrestling just released a series of cards in major comic book stores. So if you wanted to get your Tom Stock card, you can get it there, or a lot of your other MLW stars. But I do wonder if there's like a full-fledged cooperation between MLW and AEW right now. Because if you haven't heard, on the next show, channel favorite, if you watch our 2K25 playthroughs, you know what I mean. Isla Dawn has, while she's working ROH, she's also working the next MLW show. So, makes you wonder if there's some sort of cohesion between the two promotions. I think Tony Khan, when it comes to ROH, just wants everybody to get out wherever they can. But man, Fletcher's showing off a mean streak here. Did I enjoy the Dudley and Hardy? I'll be honest, I just watched highlights. I didn't watch the whole thing. But from what I saw and what I've understood from a lot of people, it's one lesson I've learned a lot. Don't raise your expectations too high. You won't be disappointed that much. I didn't expect much. It was a decent match, a lot of nostalgia. A few crazy spots, which we sort of expected to see. And the team that's sticking around won. All the respect for all four of them going in and doing that. And I don't think it was a bad match per se. Like, respectfully, Bubba's been having more bad matches than good when he's been working with anybody outside of his age range lately. So, not going to say he's not been good in some, but if you had to be a betting man, you got to bet the under on positive spots. So, Hey, Brett, how you doing here tonight? Got a couple people popping up here on YouTube chat here. Thank you. Just enjoying Collision tonight, having a lot of fun. We were talking a little bit of TNA, a little bit of scenarios. Now we're getting into a TNT title match with Kyle Fletcher and Ace Austin. Well, Ace completely missed. But Fletcher sold it like a champ. I love it. He got him with like an upside down clothesline here. Hey, Brett, you moved over sides here or what? I appreciate everybody here, whether you're watching over on the YouTube, whether you're watching on the Twitch. Fletcher had to adjust that he wasn't in the ropes just to let that pin go down. So I don't know whether it's nerves or just a little bit off here, but it looks like Austin's he's hitting everything. It's just those finer details, right? And that's the biggest difference you get between like live wrestling wrestlers. All right, well, you're in trouble, Austin. Yep, this is over now. Wow, I haven't seen him do the up kick against the ropes like that. It's the last ride. Also known as a Splash Mountain Power Bomb, which they would more likely call it that because that's what Kota Ibushi used to use. Just the fact you can get a little bit extra height on that. Of course, WWE fans know as the last ride, the finisher of The Undertaker, once he turned over the biker gimmick. Oh, here we go. This is textbook Fletcher right here. Right across the face. 2K24 jobber finisher. There you go. Yeah, and 25, what is it more? Just a regular spinning power bomb? What in the world? Nice little up kick from outside the ring. We have Tenorf, if you're able, the link is down below. But we have oh god. Fletcher was going for a tombstone. I'll get a actually I should be able to exclamation point YouTube. Actually, I got to click on this first. Oh no, sorry, wrong one here. Here we go. I keep forgetting my codes here. I haven't used these in a while. You ever hate it when Stream Elements decides to be a pain in the ass? Oh, I knew Ace would hold up just because Fletcher is that good of an athlete right now. Forgive me, I'm just trying to fill in personal requests here. All right, that's it. We're done. He kicked out of the Brainbuster? Okay, that's one of them. We actually have two different channels here, folks. So if you haven't already, and I do have to fix this one up later, but I just realized I have to fix it, so. There's both the wrestling and the gaming YouTube channels if you are interested at all. I did have chat commands for it, but apparently Stream Elements doesn't like me today. Oh my god. Oh, I thought we were going to have I thought we were going to switch things here. You know what I find funny? The slower the pace of the match, the more Austin's having a little trouble getting used to it. Now that the pace of the match has picked up a fair bit, it seems like Ace is getting into his own a little bit more. But yeah, we're live over on the Backbreaker video channel. And the gaming channel is our VOD channel. We do host our 2K25s on there, so. And that'll be the home of Backbreaker Wrestling coming up as well. Yeah, that didn't work out well. That was rough. You know, I don't. It's such a. The thing is, when they put out such high risk moves, that landed kind of absolutely. But honestly, in many ways, I feel that landing on the top rope like that with your shoulders against the top rope actually might be a lot safer. Because when you have a solid object like a turnbuckle, that could be a little more dangerous. I'm not saying it didn't look like it looked rough. Like let's not pull punches here. This whole match in many ways looked a little rough. Oh my god, this look from Mox was priceless. The hardest part of the ropes. Oh, if you guys didn't hear, Megan's return to Stardom was not that match they showed. That was a tag match that they showed. The night before, Megan Bayne versus Bozilla. If you're not familiar with Bozilla, go back to Forbidden Door and check out that four-way match with Mercedes and was it Mercedes, Windsor, Bozilla, and Persephone? Wow. So Stat's basically saying she don't care about winning the match? Yeah, I'll go with you on that, Jay Quick. Definitely, definitely an A plus outfit there. Just the way that Statlander's playing this is actually really smart. Just the fact that she's showing us that this, and I think it's going to be the main story coming out of Full Gear with this. Mercedes continually has these titles. Like she's winning a title here and a title there and a title there and a title there, and has all these. What was it now? 12 titles, 11 titles, something to that effect. But the one title she can't get is the AEW Women's Championship. And if Statlander beats her, there very well could be a possibility we get an all or none. An all or none match from Mercedes where she puts all those titles on the line for one more shot against Stat's one title. And that might be the way we get the title change. But speaking of women's wrestling, if you guys haven't heard, once again, it's another thing that got posted up on X thanks to Mr. Will Ospreay, who, by the way, I got a retweet from Will Ospreay. Like, I'm sorry, but to me, that's like that's one of those. I don't want to say it's a mark out moment, but it's definitely up there with the fact that he liked that. Yes, I know he liked something I said. I get it, but still, it's pretty cool to see. But Will Ospreay announced that this upcoming March, the for International Women's Day, Pro Wrestling Eve, the promotion that he's helping book and set up, the all women's promotion, is running the O2 in London. It is going to be the biggest women's wrestling show, I think he said in Europe, but this could be a worldwide thing for an all women's show. Basically, they're taking on Evolution in terms of what possibly they could get for a crowd there. And they've been doing wonders on that card. Like, Nyla Rose was their champion, I believe, going into this last show. You also had Willow Nightingale there as well. They just announced Jamie Hayter's coming back for a show. Alex Windsor made a surprise, which hubby wants her to work. She gonna work. Her husband is Will Ospreay, of course. So, but no, like, I'm almost tempted that we might even do a watch along of that show. I do believe it's a YouTube stream, so if that's the case, we might even do a sidecast about it just to watch and learn and just enjoy a great independent show. That it might be in the middle of the morning. It could be like 3 in the morning. I don't know. But I think we're gonna check it out, and I really wanna. I'm really looking forward to see what happens there. Because promotions deserve growth, like especially ones that work on that and give a highlight to a lot of people that you don't normally get highlights to. Moxley. Uh-oh, Mox. What do you want? Um, Don, you're wearing blue pants. You should be wearing brown. Ooh. 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 I like that stare down. I like that last stare down there. Claudio and Kyle? Could we please? Please, may I have some more? Please, can I have some more with that title? Could you imagine Claudio with the TNT title? Like, that's a little bit insane. I really wonder which way they're going to go here. Like, Ty J, Megan Bain, Marina Shafir. Seriously, they need to. My opinion, Ty J should win that match. I've always been the fan of the originals getting this title. But that Shafir and Bane match, like that team, like it's borderline insane watching those two. Okay. So I've been hearing a lot of discussion online that Maya World needs to get signed by AEW ASAP. Yeah, but Hyan was actually, I do believe, a one-time ROH women's champion. Like she was right in that group with Roxy, aka Roxanne Perez, right before St. Clair got rid of the title and got rid of the promotion essentially. It would be interesting to see like and the another name that's been brought up recently about AEW is a WWE ID, well, a former WWE ID person, Zeta Steel, who did have a cup of coffee here in AEW, a lot of tryout matches and such. Oh, God bless Nigel. God bless Tony. What do you call that? Oh, using what you got. You got to call it a rump shaker. Come on now. But I'd love to see if we can get high on sign for Sirius. All right. Well, she's done. Well, that was what, 3 minutes? Probably setting up the tournament match. It's probably going to go down. I'm assuming that's the Saturday match. Because, well, we're not going to have any matches on Wednesday because, well, let's face it. There's story on a Ring of Honor between these two, okay? Thank you. Put a splash up. Something to advertise that Ring of Honor exists. I've been asking for this forever. They do a lot of it on Collision. They don't do any on Dynamite, and it pisses me right off. Could you imagine Harley Cameron defeating Athena to end that streak? I honestly, I could say yes. Just because I think it would be good for her down there in that division. I don't like she's not going to hold the title as long as Athena did. I don't think many people would. Oh my. That was stressful. Thought this is why you brought Alicia Toot in. So now we might end up having 3 women's matches on this card, folks, if you haven't realized yet. If Jamie Hayter wins this match over Sky Blue, then we're going to get Harley Cameron versus Tekla. I really do hope that Julia and Sky make it to the finals. Do I think they will? Probably. Would you want Willow and Harley as your first tag champs? Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But I would so like to see a team like Julia and Sky, who have been working together for as long as they have, just get an opportunity to get some recognition. Ty J versus Sisters of Sin, or I don't care. Fair enough. Did they have to specify which Coliseum it is now? Is there 2 Coliseums in Greensboro? Aubrey working hard already. Oh. Sky doing some work here. All right, well, all this fancy rolling around don't mean nothing once you get hit with a clothesline like that. I love how the guy's like booing Sky, then all of a sudden he realizes the camera is on. I'm like, no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Sky, you got caught. There you go. That's how you get an advantage. That's how we're gonna make a match here. All the respect to Sky Blue here. Like if you guys aren't familiar, one of the biggest incidences in Ring of Honor, like in terms of poor fans, happened here in Edmonton, and I was not right next to it, but I was a couple sections up when Sky Blue started getting harassed by fans in the crowd, and not in the heel way, the absolute asshole way. Things have been directed. We change that camera angle. There you go. Well, more in a sexist way than more in a racist. So yeah, we were only an hour in. I'm actually really surprised for all the matches we've had so far, and it's been a lot of quality wrestling going on tonight so far. Get my is confused. Nah, it's fair. Best way to explain it is sexist and ageist. If you want to get into your isms, it's actually both of them in some ways. Because the guy that was doing it was not in a right age. One thing I've noticed so far, and I don't want to jinx it too much, but AEW actually got their picture-in-picture fixed for Collision here. I've been able to watch everything as we go along here, so it's actually pretty damn amazing if you ask me. But yeah, in terms of tag teams here, I think when you have a tag team specialist like Sky Blue, actually here, better question. A lot better question here. Which one would you rather? Sky Blue is notoriously known for all her hardcore stuff. How crazy is Sky Blue going to get in this match? Like, of all the things that have happened during these hardcore matches, Sky Blue has been involved in 3/4 of them. Oh, we get to hear from the former Acclaimed, who is pissed off about being called the Acclaimed. And they aren't announcing another match just in case they don't have to have the third match, right? They're probably going to get in a position where the matches are going to go back to back now, right? Jamie will get the fall. Everybody will beat everybody else up. Or the Sisters of Sin will come out and beat up Jamie. Harley and Willow will come out for the save. And then they'll just basically clear the ring. Here's match 3. Let's go. But so far for Blood and Guts, we have 3 matches announced. And it sort of makes sense for the third one. Just because it's nice to get something in between. And the fact that realistically, they don't even need to raise the cage up for it. So we got the women's Blood and Guts. We have the men's Blood and Guts. We also have Hangman Adam Page taking on Powerhouse Hobbs in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So realistically, they do not need to raise the cage for that. Let them fight all around the arena. Get the pin somewhere on the stage. It's not for the world title, so you can still let Hobbs get the victory. Like have all the ops out there beat him up at the same time and put him through a table and let Hobbs get the victory. So, Chad, I do have to ask you, what do you think about this best of 3 series? Like, the old trope's always been one match to determine who gets the advantage. But now we get to do a best of 3. This is a way for Tony Khan to essentially book an extra week's worth of shows, right? Because there's 6 people, right? So there's 6 different matches you got to go through there for 2 Blood and Guts matches. The only thing I'd like them to do is if they could book it earlier, don't just make it 3 matches. Make it all 5, like on the men's side. Make it all 6 on the women's side. If the women end up tied at 3, you go to sudden death where each team picks a member to fight. Or maybe you set up a 2-on-2 tag. Oh, they're trying it. Jamie's like, nope, we ain't doing this. We ain't working well. That worked well. Jamie knocked Sky's foot down, and all of a sudden she just pops it right back up. Boo, yay! Boo, yay! These two are just laying. Oh, God. I thought maybe that could have been the way they got the victory. Hater with the Joker colors, yeah. And of course, Blue going with the all blue. I wonder how many, like even on Wednesday, how many different colors are we going to get? Like, are we going to get an association of villains together? We already know that Megan Bang can go with the Harley. Or go with Poison Ivy. Oh my God, Shivani called it Twitter. He's going to get fined, guaranteed. Oh, this is going to suck. Chicken endos. I love how that move's called Cheeky Nando's, but nobody's allowed to say it on TV. Because Nando's won't give him a sponsorship yet. Uh-oh, code red. Code blue, sorry. Reverse the Insecurity into it. There we go, Haterade. And the Haterade is actually a decent seller. I like it. I like that a lot. I love the one guy's signs. Jamie, knock Sky's head out over here. Oh, did I mention this? All right, where's Willow and Harley? Let's go. Smart Mark is the GOAT. There they are. The Babes of Wrath. What do we think about that? Why are you breaking up Harley and Tekla? Just ring the damn bell. Get the other ones out of the ring. Not a fan? I like Babes. Yeah, there you go. I like the fact that we have mixed opinions of it. And Tekla's like, yeah, no, I'm just going to put my hand on these guys. I'm going to crush them as soon as they... Commercial break. And we're going to do an ad break, so it sort of works out perfect here. One of the first times this actually times up properly with each other, but I don't know. To me, as long as you have a team name and it makes somewhat sense, which I take with like 16 pounds of salt here when it comes to Harley Cameron. Because half her promos are, the object of them is to not make sense. If as long as, like I said, as long as it makes sense, I don't mind it one bit. Oh, thank you, Frosty Tools, for. I thought I took you out of here. Ugh. I'll have to check out why that's not showing up properly there, but that's something I can deal with later. Sorry, I tried to edit out the Frosty Tools comments on the stream screen. But yeah, I truly do believe that it's going to be Tekla to win this one, but Harley's just not in that position where she can win singles consistently in big game matches right now. I think you do end up seeing Willow get the victory for the women in the Blood and Guts match. That very well could be the match that sends them to another level. And once again, I feel like the Death Riders win on the men's side. Unless somebody pins Moxley, which I understand he doesn't need some pins, but he's developing a hell of a story right now. The fact that he can never... It just seems like he's scared to lose now. And we'll talk about it more during the main event. Like, the most insane individuals can end up being the ones that are most desperate, I think is the best way to put it. But yeah, in terms of this Blood and Guts match for the women, like, I expect tables, I expect chairs. I almost wonder if the craziest spot for the match will be actually for the women or for the men, because Darby's over there on the men's side just saying, all right, well, I'm going to have to top you out somehow here. And I don't know if they're going to be allowed to have a flamethrower. Because Darby will if he's allowed. We have two women ready to kill each other in the ring, and we're going to this Blood and Guts promo. I love the promo, don't get me wrong. Like, having Dean Malenko, a.k.a. the Iceman, narrate it. I hate the fact that Mina has to be in this match and not Queen Aminata. I really do wish Aminata would have had a chance, but if you're injured, right? Wish her all the best in a speedy recovery, but now, personally, I think it's a little bit more. Oh, now they pull the referees out of there. That's how you start a match. Fuck, this crowd is hyped right now. Tekla's just not pissing around right now. Hair mares and everything. I just hope nobody gets hurt this weekend. Everybody likes a good underdog story. Of course, they're going to be behind Harley. So, here you go, chat. Here's a good question for you. So, we can always predict the winner, but let's face it, storyline wise, you really could go 16 different ways for it. And honestly, when it comes to these war games type matches, nobody really cares about the winners in a lot of ways. Who's going to have the most memorable moment in this match for the women? Who's going to have the moment when we look back at this and say, holy crap, I can't believe they did that? Because there's a lot of people capable of it. My opinion, it very well could be Statlander. Like, Willow's going to be an absolute beast in there. The Sisters of Sin are going to be as gory as they can possibly be. They're going to try to make it look like a Saw movie as they go along. Like, Tekla just seems like she's an absolute bitch, so she'll definitely do her work. But I don't know, with Tony, with Mina, with Harley, like, don't get me wrong, I think they're going to do a lot of good in there, but just, and I seem to forget, and I think a lot of people do forget, one of the biggest hardcore matches this year in AEW, and the reason they forget about it is because it happened in March. The Hollywood ending. Like, don't get me wrong, there wasn't like... Actually, there was a lot of broken stuff, and just because Mariah May is no longer with the company, congratulations on your North American Championship. But the kid in the crowd's like trying to be serious, but no, he's just grinning. Tekla taking her sweet time in this match. But yeah, think about it. We got 3 women's matches on this card tonight. They're too busy getting viral right now. All right, heading into the picture time here. But you got to think about, like, once we add it all up, we're looking at almost an hour of women's wrestling tonight. No, sorry, let me correct myself. By the time we're done here, it's probably getting closer to about 45 minutes. But still, like, hell of a lot more than we're used to. That's for damn sure. Do I want more? Absolutely. I would love to have an even split 1-1, but unless Tony Khan wants to sign a whole bunch of other women to the card or to the promotion, I feel it should be somewhat how do I put this? Semi-proportional. That's the word I'm looking for. Semi-proportional to the number of people that you have on your roster is what you put on TV. And I actually haven't looked up the demographics. I'd like to see what that actually is. But in some ways, it does feel like it's sort of a 2-to-1 deal for the men. So realistically, there is no reason why they can't have at least 2 matches a night. But I know tomorrow night they're going to be getting an hour. What in the world? Copeland's movie? Oh, it looked like Copeland. Sorry. Here's a question for you, chat. When do we see Cope back? Because realistically, I think he went out to shoot a film. There you go. That's where the storyline can be, right? When the filming's over. I think the filming just about wrapped up, just like MJF's just about wrapped up. I'm going to put my cards on the table right now. I expect MJF to show up after Samoa Joe and Hangman Page after on Full Gear. And I expect him to issue his contract, his guaranteed title match for World's End. And we were talking about this before. It is the 2-year anniversary of when he lost the title to Samoa Joe. So it would work if Samoa Joe ends up winning the title. There's a story there. If Hangman wins, well, there's built-in rivalry right there. If they end up doing a no contest somehow, sorry, I just saw something pop up on my phone. It's like, what the heck? Textbook Tech Club. Gotta love the alliteration. Sorry, I've had a bit of a cold today. I know that's probably the grossest thing I could do on screen, but I need to get rid of it. I'm old. When you're ancient, you do ugly things, right? I might actually tune into Ring of Honor next week after we're done streaming. Just because Harley and Athena, that should actually be a pretty good match, I would think, between the two of them. Because you know Athena's going to be over cocky about it. And if there's some way that they can push Athena up to the main roster, even if it is having Harley win that title. Because I'm wondering if they're going to do that title match, wouldn't that be tonight? In terms of taping? Because I'm just trying to remember it's not live, right? By the way, ROH did announce that their final pay-per-view of the year. Yeah, this is live. But, I mean, after filming tonight, the Ring of Honor show is always taped after or before the, before Collision. Depending what time zone they're in. Like, for example, if they're in the Eastern time zone, they'll usually tape Ring of Honor before Collision. It totally depends on feel as well as, time, right? Here on the West Coast, it's still rather early after, oh God. Harley's eyes when she bugs out like that is a... So she went to a headbutt and a motorboat. A bite, a motorboat, and a headbutt. Oh, God, what do we got? Olga, there you go. Harley's trying, but just doesn't have that knockout blow. But hell, they're getting 15 minutes, not including the commercial break in between. I guess we're going to go straight to Mox and Roderick after this. A Harley Cameron motorboat would revive me. I'll just give you a... Zodiac, I'll even save you the chapter points. There's a spear. We're done. Me too. So the heels got the advantage. That's going to be interesting. So, for those that are Canadian here watching the old CFL, I want to give a special congratulations to the Saskatchewan referee. Guess you're not a Wrath man? I am. Don't get me wrong. I just know I'll probably faint from being shocked that it actually happened. So, revival isn't a thing I'm really thinking of there. Okay, so they're just declaring for that international championship. See, and here's the funny part. It will never come down to those two because there's no multiple falls here. Speedball is a weird Canadian. It's very simple. I don't want to say it's weird because, well, there's another gentleman that has a similar weird Canadian accent that, yeah, I don't want to piss him off. That's a French Canadian accent, sir. He's from Montreal. Just like Kevin Owens. That's where the accent comes in. It's because he is Franco Canadian. Not a wacko Canadian, just a Franco Canadian. Some days when it comes to Canadian politics, those two can be the same thing. Not a real Canadian accent then. I'm just going to take off on that one. Like I said, I don't want to get involved in politics a whole lot here. So, but as we're getting into our main event, which they're going to give him 25 minutes as well. It's not wacko Canadian. No. Wait till they win the Stanley Cup. Then we can figure out whether they're going to be wacko Canadians or not. Canada has multiple accents, just like America. That's true. But just a heads up for everybody. As we're getting into our main event, I always give you a rundown of what's coming up on the channel. I will be on tomorrow night. If you guys haven't heard, Twitch is doing their final drops of the season, basically of the year, for MLB The Show this weekend. This weekend and all next week, but we're just going to do on Sunday here. We're going to catch up with MLB The Show again, just have a nice relaxed stream. We could talk baseball. We could swear at the Dodgers a few more times, just like we need to. You want to hear a weird Canadian accent talk to a newfie? I will give you that 100%. At this point, no stream Monday or Tuesday. Let's just call it a TBA at the best here. So, Wednesday, I'll be here with AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts, which will be a 2.5-hour show, just a reminder for everybody. And then immediately following after, myself, Zodiac, PJC, and HPC Bad Guys, Vic the Villain, we'll be here for a shortened edition of WWE 2K25 Online. We should be getting a few decent weeks in there. Yeah, McG, I know McG took that from joke to serious. So, and then Thursday morning we get the finale of Dispatch, and my God, if you guys haven't played Dispatch yet, I highly recommend you do. I'll get to the rest of it after we're done here, but you know what's coming up. I love this. Lexi's like, what the hell? Let's go, Max Chance. Hey, it's what you expect, right? You can tell that this is a live show because they're coming down the ringside for stuff. Okay, so yeah, Big Boom and AJ versus, oh God, Trent and Rocky Romero. All right, so they're doing a full pay-per-view run. So before we get to our main event, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. We've had a very lively chat tonight, both on YouTube and on Twitch. Whether you're lurking, whether you're chatting, whether you're just hanging out, always appreciate having you all here, and very thankful for all you do here tonight. So, and what you do every night while you're here. It's always grateful for you being here. As we get, don't forget, we are going to go into WWE 2K25 after we're done here. It's the Survivor Series PLEs, so we're going to actually be able to watch other brands go to work. And we'll actually be able to watch the matches while we're doing offline here. Then after we're done here, we are going to send you guys over to Walker Pipe Guy, who is in the middle of a 24-hour stream right now to raise funds for the Stollery Children's Hospital here in Edmonton. So we it's yeoman's work for what he's doing, so anything we can do to help him out is always a great thing. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun during the during the PLE. I wonder what we're going to do for a match. I wasn't sure which feud we want to go with, but I really want to know how the story went down, how the magic actually happened between Shivani and Paige. Did Shivani just switch out in between? It must have been during all the confusion. I'd like to go back to the video and watch what happened during the confusion of all the extras coming out. Like the shout out to AEW with the reference to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that caused all the extra turmoil. Shivani's trying to get this blood and guts promo out, and he's failing miserably. I've been there. I've been there when they try to feed you a line, and you miss half of it, and you're just trying one ring. Hey, Bray, how you doing? Good to see you tonight. So we got Steamboat and Flair coming out on Wednesday. This could be interesting. Steamboat and Flair. I wonder if they're going to get live mics. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Do they give them live mics? So where's he coming out of? Oh, this is cool. Oh, I thought he was coming out with a bottle of beer. But of course he doesn't drink, so it would have been sort of apropos, that would have been rather stupid, but Caulfield with a multi-goal game again. I will give you a horn for that, sir. Who are they playing tonight? I missed the ticker there. I know it was the Bruins and the Leafs. That's why I saw. Oh, they're playing Utah. Utah's got a good team this year. Now that they got their leadership settled and everything settled down, it's amazing what happens when management isn't a piece of hot trash. AKA the New York Jets, AKA the Dallas Cowboys, AKA the Pittsburgh Pirates, AKA the Buffalo Sabres. You know what the sad part is? The Pagulas do such a good job with the Bills, but they just can't seem to get the hockey team done right. Why does Roddy look like he's about to cry? Except for the fact his wife's at ringside with another man. They have played it up before. But yeah, the winner of this match, whichever way it ends up, you get the advantage game in the War Games match. So for those that aren't familiar with Blood and Guts, this year they actually made a change to the commentary about it. Rather than saying the 2 minutes, they've been saying regular intervals. So it starts 1-on-1 for 5 minutes, and then at regular intervals, alternating teams come into the ring. Whoever wins this match, their team is going to be the one to start first with the alternating man advantage. This actually popped me a little bit as well here. The fact that the main event is the I Drink match of the night when Harley's the sponsor. They didn't know she was going to have a match, so they had to officially move it for this week. You know what this reminds me of right now, the Moxley storyline? It sort of reminds me, like, I'm sorry if a lot of you aren't football fans, but if you look, I think it was last week when the Indianapolis Colts took on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh decided to take away the running game completely and force Daniel Jones to win the game for him, and they couldn't. What they're doing with Mox right now, they're taking out his brawling style and basically putting in... They're basically forcing Mox to wrestle, forcing Mox into the submission game. And honestly, outside of the Bulldog choke, Mox's submission game is probably the weakest part of his game right now. Anybody can have a finisher. Let's just keep that straight. But the storyline behind it, if they could give Roddy a win here, even if it is a DQ, actually be more of a story for Moxley if it's a DQ victory for Roderick. Moxley, what are you doing with your belt? Is your belt falling off? Or are you looking to whip a guy? Well, Moxley reminding those people in the crowd that he's number one, that they're number one. Moxley very smart. Just trying to find a way to, not give up the advantage at this point. Here's something I've noticed as we're going along here. Like you see it with O'Reilly, you see it with Strong, you see it with Darby. There's not that essence of fear anymore. There's not that hesitation that there usually is with different wrestlers here at this point. So all right, that's brutal. So I wonder, I'm thinking that probably Statlander's going to be the one to go in first for the women. You probably do Statlander, Harley. Maybe Statlander, Mina. Statlander, Mina, Harley. I honestly feel you leave Willow and Tony for the back end of that. I think Mercedes is the last one, and then she pieces out. Because they don't have that WWE rule. If you leave, you're disqualified. I think she takes one step in the cage and she pieces out. Just like she was about to, what was it, on Wednesday when they were having that brawl at ringside? She didn't want anything to do with it until Statlander sort of made her part of it. Make a wish, son. Moxley just cannot get an advantage here. And a backdrop driver right on the edge. What the hell? Utah, let's do it too. Yeah, I really wonder what they're going to say about Marina interfering in this match. All right, there's a tailbone into the steps. This has been pretty amazing. They've given them these match threes for Blood and Guts. They're giving them each what? The women got... Harley and Tekla was close to 15 minutes. The men are going to get 20. So, not saying it's perfect, but you know what? It's at least time. Then on Wednesday, each Blood and Guts match has got to be around 45 minutes. With the women, it almost feels like it has to be just because there's sheer number of people. Like what? They got 12. They got 12 competitors times a minute and a half. That's minimum 18 minutes. Plus the 5 to start. That's 23 right off the bat. You know, you're going to have about 10 minutes of insanity in the ring. That's 33. When they say regular intervals, well, I guarantee you some of those are going to be delayed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Husband and wife issues. They've played it up once before. I don't think they're going to try and play it up again, so. Now Moxley's just getting nasty across the face here. Moxley going for a figure 4? It's not really something that I consider in Moxley's wheelhouse, but I don't mind it one bit. But the one thing that does allow, and that's something Roddy's working on right now, is the fact that if you're not familiar, if you're not a seasoned person who's used to getting into the submission game, you leave yourself, quite often when you try to go on the offensive, you seem to create problems for yourself by creating the extra, like your technique may not be exactly where it needs to be. And a guy like Roddy can go over everything and just, here we go, Canadian Crab. And see, once again. And now it's turned into a calf crusher. Just because the technique wasn't there, right? Mox just going insane here. If you aren't familiar, Moxley is my tag team partner in WWE 2K25 right now, at least in my GM. Oh, and now we're going to go to the year. And now Tony gives the "we're going to stay as long as we have to" quote. I was going to say Moxley wasn't showing him his nails. He was showing him he was number one. Moxley looks calculated, but he doesn't look. He's got a little air of confidence for him right now, but I just wonder what Briscoe's going to fly off of. Basically, in that match, I know he's going to do something stupid. I think we all know he's going to do something stupid. God, I love that slam. It's the same thing that Mox does too. Like when Mox does his yeah, here we go. Didn't get okay. You gotta love it. As soon as Mox put in the Bulldog choke, Roddy knew exactly what to do to get out of it. Drop kick right across the face. So we're going superplex here? I would assume so. I will say this is a lot better alternative than trying to do a coin flip to determine who gets the advantage in War Games. I'm sorry, I'm still in a habit of calling that instead of blood and guts. Only a 2 and Kyle's out here. Darby's gonna do something to Mox. Is the referee gonna throw this out? Well, no shit, they're thrown out. Pac's underneath the ring. I'd almost assume that's the case. There we go. And that's what Pac did last time against Orange. Roddy's going to overcome it and win, isn't he? Nope, Bulldog choke. Nope, stomp. Wah? And Mox has got to be pissed. Like, he's like, what do I do? So Pac's out here. I'm expecting Orange to show up right away. Moxley did a hell of a job there getting that move out. Oh, I love Stefan. He's like, no. You don't fine Dutch me. So, how does this work? Moxley puts Roddy through the table and gets DQ'd. O'Reilly's back. Well, Garcia eats the table. I like that. I like these little teases. Here comes the choke. Oh, into the post. Darby's got to have the crescendo point here. He has to. Like, there's no way that he doesn't. Full Nelson bomb on the stairs? All right, we're back to even. Maybe. Oh my God, Darby! Darby! I know that foot anywhere. I know that hand anywhere. That is hilarious. That's amazing. Another loss for Mox. Oh, we called it earlier, chat. That's amazing. Oh, Pac's arm's done. Oh, he's got a taser. Oh, he's got a taser. Come on. You know, zappy. Little zappy. Anybody want a zappy? And Mox is like, hell no, I don't want that. Guy's got a phone in his hand. He's too busy staring at that instead. Jesus. So Team Darby has the advantage. Pac's arm is numb. He might be out of this. They might end up having to. They might have to bring in Gabe Kidd for this. Could you imagine if they said his arm went numb because of that? I politely laughed my ass off a little bit about it as well, but at the same point, like, good on him. Like, this was a very entertaining episode. 3 different women's matches. Yes, I understand one was a squash or a already in the ring match. But either way, like the other 2 matches there, Jamie Hayter and Sky Blue got time. Tekla and Harley Cameron got time and did well. It's a good point in AEW when your worst match on a card for the week has to go to Kyle Fletcher and Ace Austin. Like, that ending was rough. They had a lot of rough spots during the match. Like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't a horrible match by any means, but at the same time, it's, you know, the bar is pretty high when that's your lowest match of the night. I'm not giving star ratings. That's not me. But I will say this show tonight, with everything you had in it, was definitely a must-watch tonight. If you guys didn't get a chance to check out FTR and the Bang Bang Gang, with the fact that Robinson and Gunn now should have an opportunity to tag titles if FTR gets them. Getting a victory there, like, tonight was full of unexpected endings. Especially in our opener and our closer, the fact that FTR lost the opener and then Moxley lost the main event tonight. You gotta say that that's actually a pretty good, pretty good piece of cliffhangery. And yes, Sky Blue Jamie Hayter did great. Harley Cameron Tekla did great. They're setting up once again the Acclaimed have to show up on the tailgate brawl, working together. Full Gear is going to look great. Blood and Guts is going to be a lot of fun on Wednesday, and I hope I get an opportunity to hang out with all of you once again to have a lot of fun here. So, but with that being said, we're going to wrap up this portion of the show right now. We want to get into WWE 2K25 ASAP. For those watching on YouTube, twitch.tv/MikeTheRef is where we're going to be. Unfortunately, due to DMCA and also recording this for our gaming channel, we record all our video just on Twitch live. For those on Twitch, hang on a sec. I just want to send our friends over on YouTube a fond farewell. Thank you for being here once again. Always appreciate you. Next time we're going to be live on YouTube is Wednesday for the aforementioned Blood and Guts. Make sure you're here. Make sure you have lots to say, have lots of fun, and enjoy us for a lot of great conversation. Once again, if you're interested, twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. But in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another edition of the AEW Collision Sidecast. Thank you for being here, and always remember to be part of the solution. Take care, everybody.